Welcome to the Explainer series for Quant. Here we'll be using very simple concepts and apply it to CAT level problems and solve them as easily as possible. We'll continue our discussion on solids. In this session, we'll be looking at the rest of the solids, which is basically your pyramids, cones, spheres, etc. I would suggest pause this video, have a look at the PDF with the questions and the answer key. The link is available in the description of this video. Once you have tried these on your own, then proceed with the rest of this session. Please do share this with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. You can like and follow us on Facebook as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel to get live event and notifications for all the updates regarding CAT and other MBA entrance examination. You can also look at our WhatsApp as well as Telegram lists. You can join over there and we will update you. We don't spam over there. If you want, you can enroll for our Quant and LRDI courses. These are the best and the most comprehensive courses available in the market. In the previous session on solids, we had discussed cubes, cuboids, cylinders, and prisms. In this session, we'll be discussing pyramids, cones, and spheres. I would suggest if you want to revise your knowledge about cubes, cuboids, etc., please do have a look at the previous session on solids. Now, unlike a prism, a pyramid, while it has a base, right, the other part or the second dimension is basically a point, right? So you will basically, all these vertices actually meet at a common point. Now again, just as with with prisms, we will assume that this makes a right angle to the right angle with the base. It's a perpendicular, makes a right angle to the base, and it's symmetrically placed. There are obviously quite a few concepts, etc., where you have asymmetrically made pyramids. That is again beyond the scope of CAT examination. Now with pyramids, the volume can be found out as 1/3 the base area into height. So if you know the area of the base, 1/3 of that into height will be your volume. Unlike a prism where the volume was base area into height. Similarly, you can find the lateral surface area. Lateral surface area will be your base perimeter, right, times the slant height. Slant height is your this portion. That will be your lateral surface area. Remember, this is the surface area of only of the walls, so to speak, right? Not the base. Base is not included. You'll have to add the base if you have to find the total surface area. Now, the most commonly used pyramid is basically a cone where your where your bottom is a circle, right, of radius r. You have a height and slant height is L. Using Pythagoras theorem, you can find the value of slant height. If this is r, this is h, this will be your hypotenuse. L square plus r square plus h square is equal to L square. Right, now using the rest of the relations, we can find the volume, curved surface area, and the total surface area. Just as we discussed here, volume can be found, lateral surface area can be found, and when you add the curved surface area with the base area, you'll get the total surface area. Right, now the most simplest of all curved sort of figures is basically a sphere. Right, a tennis ball is a very good example of a sphere. So you have a radius, it's equivalent to a circle in a two-dimensional geometry. So if you have a radius, volume is given as 4/3 pi r cube. Curved surface area, which is same as the total surface area, will be 4 into pi r square. Now, when you cut the sphere into two equal halves, you will get a hemisphere. Volume will be half of the volume of a sphere. Curved surface area will be half the curved surface area of the sphere, but the total surface area is not the half of the total surface area. Why? Because when you take only half of the sphere, you have this portion, right, but a circle of radius r is exposed, right, on the sphere, right? So you need to add that to get the total surface area. Be a little careful about this property. Versus a total surface area of a sphere, to a hemisphere, you just cannot take half, right? You'll need to add the area of that circle which is exposed as a result of cutting the sphere into two parts. Let's use these relations and solve a few questions which came up in the past CAT and XAT examination. The first question is from ZAT 2012. It says a spherical metal of radius 10 centimeters is molten and made into 1000 smaller spheres of equal sizes. In this process, the surface area of the metal is increased by how much? Okay, so if you take the volume of one sphere, original sphere, it will be 4 by 3 pi into 10 cube. Now, this will be the volume of all the smaller sphere combined. So it will be 1000 times volume of one sphere, 4 by 3 pi into, suppose the smaller sphere volume is r cube, right? So 4 by 3 goes out, pi goes out, right? Now 10 cube and 1000 get cancelled. So the radius of the smaller spheres is 1 unit, right? Now the question is, what is the increase in the surface area? Surface area of the larger sphere will be 4 pi into 10 square, right? Surface area of the 1000 smaller spheres combined will be 1000 into 4 pi into 1 square, right? So from 10 square, it has become 1000. What is the increase? Increase is 900 on 100. 10 square is 100. Which is 9 times. It has become 9 times. Now don't mark 10 times. The correct answer will be none of these. It's a ZAT problem, so none of these is a relevant option, right? In your haste, don't mark 10. The answer is 9 because we are required to find how much has the surface area increased by, not what is the ratio of the original area, the new area to the old area, right? So answer is not 10 times. Answer is the change, which is 9 times. The second question is from ZAT 2018. It says, if it takes 2 liters to paint the surface area of a solid sphere, and if this solid sphere is sliced into 4 identical pieces, then how many liters will be required to paint all the surfaces of these 4 pieces? Right. So let's try to visualize this figure. This is how it will look. So I have divided into 4 parts. So each of them will be like a portion of the ball, right? So now if you make one slice on the hemisphere to divide into a hemisphere, right, it will expose 2 additional surface areas of pi r square. 1 pi r square will go to the first hemisphere, the second pi r square will go to the second hemisphere. Similarly, when you make another 2 cuts, another 2 areas of pi r square and pi r square will get exposed. So if your original surface area is 4 pi r square, the new surface area, additional surface area which has to be painted, will be a pi r square here, a pi r square here. This will also be pi r square and this will also be pi r square. So an additional 4 pi r square is exposed. Now to paint 4 pi r square, you need 2 liters of paint. To paint this additional 4 pi r square, you'll need additional 2 liters of paint. Combined total will be 2 plus 2, 4 liters. Option D. Pretty straightforward question, but you need to visualize and you need to understand every time you cut a hemisphere, you expose 2 additional surfaces of pi r square on each of the 2 parts. Right? Once you understand that, question is pretty straightforward. The third question is from CAT 2019 slot 2. Let's see what this says. The base of a regular pyramid is a square and each of the 4 sides is an equilateral triangle. The length of each side being 20. What is the vertical height of the pyramid? Okay, so let me roughly draw this pyramid. So this is how it will look. Base is a square of side 20 units. Each of these triangles is an equilateral triangle. So each of these heights will also be 20. But I need to find the vertical height. Now, to find the vertical height, right, if I were to draw a projection of this part, this triangle, suppose let's call it A, B, C, where B is the midpoint, right? So you'll get something like this. Now, AB is what we need to find, right? What will be the length BC? Length BC will be half the side. Half the side is 10. Now, what will be AC? AC will be the height of the equilateral triangle. This is the height of the equilateral triangle, right? What is the height of an equilateral triangle of side 20? Equilateral triangle of side 20 height will be 20 into root 3 by 2. which is 10 root 3. Now we can use Pythagoras theorem and figure out. So h square plus 100 will be equal to 100 into 3, which means h square will be 200 or h will be 10 root 2. Job done. Under 2 minutes in an exam situation, pretty straightforward. The fourth question is very similar to the previous one. Now, this is from XAT 2017, this is from CAT 2019. We don't know which one copied from which. Right, I'm not saying anything. Let's see what this says. Volume of a pyramid with square base is 200 centimeter cube. The height of the pyramid is 13. What will be the length of the slant edges? That is the distance between the apex and any other vertex rounded to the nearest integer. So let me draw this part again. You need to be a little careful with the question though, right? The volume is given as 200. Height is given of the pyramid, right? H is given. Now we need to find the slant height of the pyramid, right? Not the height of the triangle, the face of the triangle, but the length of the vertex, length of the edge which joins the two vertices, right? So if I again name this A, B, and C, right? A, B, and C. Here AB is given as 13. Right, how will we find BC? BC will be half the diagonal of the square, right? So the side is A, BC will be A by root 2 or A root 2 divided by 2. That will be the value. So we need to find A. How will we find the value of A? To find the value of A, 1/3 base area, which is A square into height equals 200, which means A square will be equal to 600 by 13, which is approximately 46. That's the value of A square, right? Now BC is A by root 2. We need to find this value X. So I know X square will be 169 plus A square by 2, right? So it is 169 plus A square is 46, so 23. So this is 192. X square is 192. So X will be square root of 192. Now 196 square root is 14. So closest value is 14. Be a little patient. Very similar to the previous one. Job done. And to round things off, this is from CAT 2018, slot 1. It says a right circular cone of height 12 stands on its base which has a diameter 8. The tip of the cone is cut off with a plane which is parallel to the base and 9 feet from the base. With pi is equal to 22 by 7, the volume in cubic feet of the remaining part of the cone is how much? So let's just visualize this figure, right? So the base diameter is 8, which means the base radius is 4, right? Now the height, the full height of the cone is 12 and it is cut off 9 units from the bottom, which means it is 3 units from the top. Now, these are all similar triangles. Now, what is the ratio? Ratio of the heights is 1:4, right? Which means ratio of the radius will also be 1:4, right? So if this radius is 4, this radius will be equal to 1, right? Radius will also be in the ratio 1:4. Right, so if I take capital R for this radius, capital H for the full height, small h for the smaller height, and small r for the small radius, right? Small r will be capital R by 2 or by 4. Small h will be capital H by 4. What will be the volume of the smaller cone which is taken off? 1/3 pi r square h, which is same as 1/3 of pi into r square by 4 square, which is 16, into h by 4, which is same as 1/3 pi r square h by 64, which means 1 by 64 of the full volume is gone. So this balance volume left is 1 minus 1 by 64, which is 63 by 64 of the full volume. 63 by 64 of the full volume. What is the full volume? 1/3 of pi is 22 by 7 into r square. Radius is 4, so 4 square is 16 into height is 12. Right, 3 will give you 4, 16 into 4 is 64, which goes with this, 7, this becomes 9, 22 into 9 is 198, 2 minutes in an exam situation, job done. As you have seen, whether it's 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional geometry, eventually you'll still have to work with 2-dimensional geometry figures like triangles, circles, squares, etc. Key point in 3-dimensional geometry is not to lose patience. Most of the 3-dimensional figures are symmetric, multiple axes of symmetry, unlike a 2-dimensional figure where the polygon might have irregular edges or a triangle might have irregular edges. Most of them are right angle triangles, equilateral triangles, squares, rectangles, circles, etc. Much more easier than a 2-dimensional geometry if you can draw the figure. Key point, be patient, let the question solve itself. Don't make any silly mistakes. Job gets done. That completes this particular session. If you liked it, please do share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examination. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow our Facebook page. The links for our course are available on the description to this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.